The power grid's been dark for 72 hours. Your neighborhood watch group disbanded after the second night of screaming.
The suburbs sleep, dreaming of picket fences. But dreams, like arteries, can be clogged with unpleasantness.
Police stopped answering calls yesterday. Your Ring doorbell is now just a decorative plastic circle.
As the light fades, the suburbs reveal their true selves. A charming cross-section of American life, wouldn't you agree?
No worries, we're turning your suburban cracker box into a hardened position using duct tape spite and the contents of your junk drawer. Let me tell you something beautiful. Your front door is held together by screws the size of a toddler's fingernail. The strike plate, that little metal thing your deadbolt slides into, is attached to decorative trim with hardware that couldn't stop a motivated golden retriever. One kick, that's all it takes. One size 11 boot, and your secure entry point becomes a welcome map. But here's the thing about the apocalypse. Hardware stores are either looted or unguarded, which means you're about to become very creative with what's already in your garage. All right, phase 1, the door. We start with the front door. Not because it's the most vulnerable, it's not, but because it's what people expect to be strong. And in survival, expectations are weapons.
But you'd be surprised how many people forget the oversized bolts.
Grab your drill. Find the longest screws you own. I'm talking 3 and 4 and the kind you bought for that deck project you never finished. Rip out those pathetic 2-inch screws. From your strike plate and hinges, replace them with the long boys.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call hitting the stud. A little aggressive, perhaps, but efficiency is key when reinforcing against
Drive them
the
deep until they hit the wall studs behind the trim.
It looks strong.
What you've just done is turn your door frame from a suggestion into a structural component. When someone kicks this, now the force transfers into the bones of your house. They'll break their foot before they break your door. Congrats. You just bought yourself 3 minutes of kick resistance for the cost of 6 screws. Now the hinges, same deal. Long screws, all of them because a smart attacker doesn't kick the lock side. They attack the hinges, pop those pins, lift the door right out, but not anymore.
As you can see, is leverage applied directly to the
Your hinges are now bolted into the skeleton of the wall. They'd need a sawzall, and 20 minutes they don't.
Perhaps not enough essence to get through reinforced steel before the neighbors call.
Have either barricade time, you know, that wooden dowel from your closet.
Jam it firmly into the floor. That should hold them for, at least 10 minutes.
One holding up shirts you haven't worn since 2019.
None of these have been worn since 2019.
Jam it at an angle from the door handle to the floor. Physics is now your security guard. The angle distributes force across the entire floor.
To ensure maximum security, simply wedge the chair firmly beneath the handle. Apply pressure until you hear the wood begin to splinter.
Use a broomstick, a mop, use that decorative ore you bought at Home Goods because you thought it looked nautical. Everything is a weapon. Everything is a tool. Phase 2, windows are lies. They are not security features. They're pre-installed entry points wrapped in a thin layer of denial. We're going to make them expensive to use duct tape, the gray miracle worker crisscross. Every ground floor window with duct tape in a grid pattern, not decorative structural. When glass breaks, it shatters, but taped glass, it spiderwebs. It holds. It stays in the frame like a stubborn jigsaw puzzle made of knives.
Don't you just hate it when that happens? At least the duct tape is putting in the effort.
An intruder breaks the window and is faced with a sticky, jagged, clinging mess that'll shred their arms, and it's loud. Every piece of glass they pull away sounds like someone eating chips in a library. You'll hear them.
A concept apparently lost on our friend here.
Now shove your heaviest furniture against the windows.
Gravity and the inevitable. Pay close attention to the lumbar region.
dressers, bookshelves, that treadmill you've been using as a clothes rack. Make it so even if they break the glass, there's a 200-pound obstacle in the way. They'll need to move it, which means noise, time, and effort. The three things they hate most. And keep your curtains closed. Not because you're hiding, because they can't see what you have where you are.
The darkness is merely temporary, or is it?
The first rule of engagement: cultivate uncertainty. Your target must never know if the shadow is...
Or if you're armed, uncertainty is a psychological weapon. Let them wonder. Finally, Phase 3, the sliding door problem. Sliding glass doors are a beautiful architectural joke. Most can be lifted right off. They're tracks.
Upward pressure until the tracks are clear. It's quite straightforward, really.
Cut a piece of wood, a broomstick, a 2x4 to fit perfectly in the track.
Until resistance is met. Note the satisfying.
The door won't slide. Simple, effective,
assuming its primary function is to remain permanently sealed.
but go further. Drill a hole at a downward angle through the sliding door frame and into the fixed frame. Drop a nail or a bolt through it. Now the door is pinned. They'd need to drill it out too loud, too slow.
The structural integrity of the locking mechanism remains, shall we say, uncompromised.
Bonus move, smear the outside handle with grease oil or that expired mayonnaise in your fridge. Make it disgusting to touch.
And just like that, the intruder is neutralized. Not by force, but by sheer tactile revulsion.
Petty, yes, effective. Also, yes, look around. You've reinforced the doors, trapped the windows, and pinned the sliders.
Observe the femur here, completely immobilized by the pin. The joint fluid, while plentiful, offers no advantage against such brute force.
Welcome to Sector 4. Remember, if you hear the screams, it means they found a weakness in Jotson's perimeter. The suburbs. A veritable petting zoo of soft targets.
About to be very, very disappointed. Let's continue with the next phase, Phase 4. Garage doors are
The
traitors.
weakness here is the emergency release cord. A simple wire hanger is all it takes to trip the mechanism.
Now, if you value your belongings, you'll want to secure this little guy. Use a sturdy zip tie. Nice and tight. There we go. Perfectly secure.
Next, unplug the opener. No power means no automatic opening. They'd have to manually lift a 150 lb door, which is loud, slow, and completely visible. Everything you want. Finally, park a car inside if you can. Now for Phase 5, psychological warfare. This is the fun part. Security isn't just physical, it's mental. You want them to think your house is a bad idea before they even try. First, fake the dog. Don't have one. Doesn't matter. Put out a massive steel water bowl by the back door, the kind for a Rottweiler toss. A chewed-up rope toy in the yard. Clip a heavy chain leash to your fence. Put up a beware of dog sign with a picture of something that looks like it eats intruders for breakfast. Why does this work? Because dogs are chaos. They bark, they bite. Even a 10% chance of a dog is enough to make most criminals pick a different house. You're not lying. You're just implying. Next, boots by the door. Big ones. Muddy size 13. It suggests a large working-class person who's home and probably owns tools that double as weapons. It doesn't matter if you're a 5'2" accountant. They don't know that. Then noise, leave a radio on. Talk radio is best. Voices suggest people. People suggest witnesses. Witnesses suggest risk. And risk suggests, let's say, try next door. And finally, lights on timers. Not all of them, just a few in random patterns. Living room on for 20 minutes, then off. Bedroom light on, then off. Kitchen light. It looks like someone's moving through the house. Someone awake. Someone alert. Okay. Phase 6. The perimeter. You've locked down the house. Now make the approach itself suck. Dump bags of gravel under windows and along side paths. You cannot walk on gravel quietly. Every step sounds like a snare drum. It's a natural alarm system. Next, Thorny plants got rose bushes, prag them under the windows. Anything with thorns becomes a biological barrier. It'll shred clothes, skin, and leave DNA. Not worth it for them. Last, make movement dangerous. A garden hose stretched across a dark path. A fake motion light fixture with a visible sensor. They'll assume it works and avoid that entire area. This brings us to our last line of defense, Phase 7. The interior fallback. Everything we've done buys you time. But if someone gets through, you need a safe room. Pick one room, a bedroom is best, you're already there at night. Make sure it has a solid door and reinforce it the same way you did the front door. Long screws, a barricade, a strong lock. Inside that room, you need a charged phone, a flashlight, a weapon of choice, water and snacks. You might be in there for a while. Train your family with a code word. Pineapple thunderstorm, something you'd never say by accident. When they hear it, everyone goes to the safe room. No questions, no heroics, just move. Here's the beautiful part, the science of why this all works. You're not trying to build a bunker, you're just trying to be slightly harder to get into than the house next door. Criminals operate on a risk-reward calculation. Every single obstacle you add increases their risk. Every second they spend trying to get in is another second they might get caught. The 3-inut rule is real. If it takes longer than 3 minutes, they bail. Your reinforced door is 3 minutes of kicking. Your fake dog is instant psychological doubt. Your garden path is constant noise, anxiety. When you stack enough of these small obstacles, the math stops working in their favor.